All right, let me get in the zone.
Okay.
All
Auto
right.
zone.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the auto zone.
Okay.
Howdy, fellas. How you doing tonight? You guys doing
alright.
good?
Yeah, we're good.
You having a good...
I sure do love wrestling.
You having a good night? Oh, that's fantastic. Welcome to Gang Stock in our podcast. Now, right off the bat here, I feel like I should be addressing the elephant in the room. It seems as though through some sort of cosmic event, or perhaps the 30 full ounces of steak approximately that I've consumed in the past 48 hours has caused me to take on the mannerisms and parlance of WWE superstar Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Unbelievable.
And I've tried every method possible to stop this from happening. Can I get a hell yeah? No, hell
heck
no.
No, heck no,
hell
dude.
no, because I cannot stop it.
It's
I don't know if this is a blessing or a curse.
It seems like you're paying for some sort of crime you committed. This is definitely a penance.
I might have to commit 100 good deeds to go back to normal. Perhaps.
That's a lot of good deeds, man.
So it seems like I will be stuck like this for quite a while. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll just be taking a quick sip from this ice-cold Bud Light margarita.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Don't do it.
It's a mango Rita. I didn't hear that. I'm just gonna take a quick sip right now.
He's mad. No.
Oh
No.
Oh no! His power's being sapped from him.
Oh my God!
No. No.
This is the work of Vince McMahon.
He doesn't want you in SummerSlam.
That was delicious. Oh. I think I'm good now.
The man we know and love has returned to us.
Yeah. That was weird.
Oh.
That was the most incredible story that I have ever witnessed in my
That was a full arc, kind of, in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
that we did.
At the beginning, it was a dark middle chapter where it seemed like you would never be able to undo what has been wrought on you, but...
I laughed. I cried. I gave it 2 thumbs up.
Thank you.
Good shit.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I'm sick, so I decided the best way to cure this...
bro. Fucking
dude,
sick.
the only way to cure this is through drinking vodka and energy drinks at the same time. So
I drank my energy drink earlier, but I do have vodka. Also, I was not on the backup recording. I was not recording any of that. So make sure you don't
That's
lose
fine.
that first bit.
Oh,
Because that's gold, son.
Oh, no.
High quality
Can't
content
lose
right
that.
there.
Yeah.
I'm currently getting my way through a Mickey's 40-ouncer
Oh,
fine
you guys have
malt liquor. This
continued
is the
on the Mickeys, huh?
This is the first time that I've ever drank malt liquor in my life, and it is distinctly okay.
distinctly
it's-
beer-like, but not quite as good, but very cheap.
It's a step above natty.
Sure.
I will say that. That's not an incredible step. It doesn't take much to get that step above natty, but it's. I will try to finish this.
The last
It's a lot of beer.
quarter is pretty rough, I find.
Ooh, unless you have something to make it cold. Yeah, that lasts.
You need you need an ice box. Somebody needs to bring you a bucket
you
full
need
of
a
ice.
cooler.
Do you get to rest your 40 in between the sips?
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
You need to get that high
champagne
gravity,
bucket.
too.
For my malt.
Should I pour some of
Perfect.
my gin that I bought while we were in Japan into my Rockstar energy drink?
As long as you get the pouring sound on mic, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, please.
Yeah.
We need those juicy ASMR
Was it? Wait, is this a expensive gin?
No, I mean I bought it for like $30 while we were there.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah, we got Nick on this episode.
Hello, Nick.
Greetings, fellow friends of America and other such countries.
Yes.
This is an American
Goddamn,
This is a podcast exclusively for the
I'm so proud
armed services.
to be part of this American podcast. It is my civic duty
caught the Stone
to
Cold.
record myself in this podcast talking about Japanese animation.
I didn't-
My God.
I didn't eliminate the Stone Cold. I transmitted it over the wires.
It's like
and
in
you
The
got-
Exorcist. Now
you
you gotta
got
jump
sort
out
of
a window.
you've got sort of the sulking, sort of grumbly strain of Stone Cold.
Latter day.
It's all method, you know. You first have to think from the outside in, you know. You have to make your appearance like that of Mr. Austin, and then you just work on the character building.
And you need to drink a
What is his
lot of really
motivation?
cheap beer. That's
Oh yes,
Stone
that
Cold's
is
thing.
that is very. I mean, I got myself a Mickey.
Exactly. That'll do it for you. When Steven and I were
It's all about the
watching
method.
The Mummy 2017, we came up with a narrative that the entire movie was a hallucination of Tom Cruise's after he drank too many Bud Light with limes. And that made the movie very funny.
I feel it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Somehow manifested Russell Crowe.
God damn.
It's like an inverse Beautiful Mind. Russell Crowe is the hallucination this time.
I will say to this day, I have not the least bit of regret watching that movie in theaters.
Oh, you saw it?
I saw it in theaters.
Oh,
yeah.
that's great.
Big screen.
I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast yet. That movie's fucking out of control. I watched it
That
thinking it would just
movie-
sort of suck. Here's what I came up with. It's the Tropic Thunder version of The Mummy. At the beginning of Tropic Thunder, where they have all the fake movies. It's just that.
Okay.
Or it's like,
Okay.
remember, in Big Fat Liar, they have the fake Big Fat Liar movie where like everyone's all super hot.
Sure,
the guy
sure.
playing Frankie Muniz.
Yeah.
And it's like corny, and the guy's like smiling real big, and he's real cool. It's like that.
It's like a parody of The Mummy.
You're looking at Tom Cruise, and you'd think that he's supposed to be Brendan Fraser, but he's like way too his smile is like way too obnoxiously big, and it looks like a fake movie that was within a movie, and like it would in that movie you would like cut to like Brendan Fraser on the set going, "Oh, come on,"
You did
like,
this to me. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, the director of The Mummy has had a very storied career, writing some of the best movies we've seen, like Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
classic. Wait, which one? That's the second one, right?
The second one,
Classic.
Amazing
I watched
Spider-Man 2.
that one on the bus in marching band on the way back from New York City, I think.
You said
good
Amazing
one.
Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
Classic.
I love Dr. Octopus. That's a great film. That's
Ooh. Should we tell him,
It's a
or should we
real
let him leave in this lie?
No, I watched it. I watched The Amazing Spider-Man 2 2014 in theaters, and when I saw Dr. Octopus on the screen, played by chubby, Dono or whatever.
That's the first thing you're going to tell the world about the amazing, talented acting ability of Alfred Molina.
Alfred,
Is that
yeah,
he's
him.
chubby?
I
Is
don't-
that all that he
that's-
brings to the world of cinema?
Yes, actually.
You
it turns out.
know what Amazing Spider-Man 2 does
Oh,
have in it?
he was in Gravity Falls. What's
You
that?
know what Amazing Spider-Man 2 has in it? And by Amazing Spider-Man 2, yeah.
Oh well, it has. Isn't that the question of the day?
Yes, great
That's
line,
Jamie
great
Foxx.
line. It's got one Paul
Oh, and
Giamatti.
the soundtrack.
Paul
right.
Giamatti.
That's right. Paul Giamatti
Oh,
plays the rhino.
right.
And he's great.
the not
He's an over-the-top Russian man.
the part of the movie that they cut, but somehow kept 30 seconds of for some reason.
I will get you, Spider-Man.
We've been
if
watching.
the whole movie was that, it would have been so much better.
We've been watching John Adams, the miniseries from 2008,
Oh Christ!
and so
Remember when John Adams turns blue and he looks in the mirror and he goes, "Ah, I'm blue, da boo dee da."
no, he didn't do
oh
it
wait,
like that.
it all comes back around. Everything's got Paul Giamatti in it.
Now,
Not really, no. I just named another movie with Paul Giamatti.
Because you said Big Fat Liar earlier
Yeah.
in making reference.
Oh, I already
And
said
then-
I made a reference.
Here's
to
the
it.
thing,
Yeah.
I was gonna make
thinking
a-
about Big Fat Lie.
I was going to make a reference to Saving Mr. Banks, which is a film about making Mary Poppins and the creator of Mary Poppins being dissatisfied with the final product. And in that movie, Paul Giamatti plays the driver of the writer of Mary Poppins. He's everywhere.
Wow.
That's right.
He's all over the place.
He's our guardian angel.
I forgot that he was in that movie.
Is he in Con Air? No, that's Paul.
He was in
That's,
Fred Claus.
There we go.
Steve Buscemi.
He was in Sideways. It's me, Paul Giamatti. I don't like Merlot.
He's a treasure, national treasure. Was he a national treasure?
Oh, and he'll be in the third
Probably
one.
not.
Which is coming soon, very soon. They're writing it as we
Is it a
speak.
soft reboot?
Please. I will, gushing at the idea.
Nicolas Cage has to steal
We
the
gotta steal the... How do you get big? Because, like, the second movie, he straight up just steals the president of the United States.
That's a pretty big.
Where do you go?
You
He
steal the
has
secret
to-
president.
No, I mean
I'm
he
gonna
has to
steal-
like steal Israel's nuclear launch codes or something, and just
gonna
he has
steal the
to
House of
hold.
Representatives.
He has to hold the entire world at gunpoint. Nicolas Cage, the treasure hunter, has to be pulling the strings.
It's funny-
Nicolas Cage joins the Illuminati.
It's funny.
National Treasure 3.
It's funny that you mentioned holding a gun at the entire United States. Because hear me out.
Oh, boy,
hear me
here
out.
he goes.
This is
Say goodbye to the
Oh
next 20
crap!
this is an idea. I was,
You need to find a hobby. You need to do something during the week. You need to get a part time. This is getting out of hand.
I've been massaging an idea.
Oh,
So here we go. Political idealist Ethan with the thought of the
We
century.
activists.
it was irresponsible.
Wait, you said his last name. Hold on, I gotta write that down.
It was irresponsible of the United States to not take over the world after World War II.
Wait, do you think
Yep.
that didn't happen?
This is an opinion that he very sort of strongly believes in, that he's still fleshing
I'm
out.
feeling it out. I think we should have held the whole world at gunpoint and made every nation on the planet stop their nuclear development. Because a world
Oh, that kind of-
in which one government controlled nuclear weapons is much safer than a world in which every government controls nuclear weapons. It might be totalitarian, but it would have avoided the next 100 years of war because of, nuclear not inadequacy, but inequity. And the rush to find nuclear weapons and develop them in the Middle East. We wouldn't have invaded, the Middle East at all. Anyway,
Faith and
Yeah.
I
So I
paid
mean,
you
that's just, so
$10.
it's just
If I paid you
you're like
$10,
one
would you
way
stick
or
your
the
dick
other.
in the
Either
elephant's foot?
either one person has nukes or everyone does, because
I'd stick my dick in the elephant.
nuclear nations also mostly have done okay compared to non.
that's the thing, though, is that when you give up your nukes, you then immediately get fucked, as we learned.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. So
But I think we won't experience an opportunity for a world government like that for another 400 years or so. Those don't come around very often, where the entire world is depleted of resources and one government has an overwhelming force in the form of
a real world government as
Ethan's a
opposed to like a
goddamn
pussy
globalist.
neutered one.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I get you. How deep into your Mickeys are you, Ethan?
Well, I've just been drinking shots of vodka with my Rockstar sugar-free
That
energy
actually
drink.
makes a lot more sense. Yeah. Okay. Caffeine and alcohol.
And I drank an IBA before this.
An IBA?
was-
What is that?
Irritable bowel ass.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
As recognized by the medical community across the world.
So, want to talk about this thing we watched?
fuck yeah.
That's our
Books! Fucking books!
required obligatory 15-minute intro.
Yes.
Indeed.
We wanted to watch something short this week because Ethan's too busy learning all of the things that that he's just told us about, and climbing trees apparently.
That's right.
So yeah, we could only watch. It's always just fucking. Can we watch something short this week? I got time for like 1 or 2, 3 episodes, and then it's just you tweeting about like I fell out of a tree. The fucking.
If you could have seen how many hours I
The
spent at my
nukes.
computer this week working on an edit. Oh my god.
Oh, so you do work during the week?
yeah.
You should have seen this man in the tree.
The man in the
was-
tree, classic story.
It was almost in slow motion, just
Yeah.
watching him plummet into the river.
How
below.
many? Oh, it was into
Beautiful.
water.
Yes.
Of
Oh,
course.
okay.
So there was a. Yeah,
Oh, so it's not that bad. How many feet would you say?
not too bad. I'd say he dropped.
I'd say 20.
Okay, Okay.
20?
15.
Maybe around
Yeah.
15.
All right. Have you seen that video of I think some guy posted on Twitter. It's like a video of him and his wife sitting in front of a webcam, and they're both like crying and consoling each other and talking about something. And the tweet was like, "I watched my wife fall off a cliff. It immediately makes you puts things into perspective, makes you realize how close we are to blah 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 whatever."
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the video, and she's walking along this ledge, in the forest somewhere, whatever they're vacationing, and she slips and she like rolls 5 feet and then falls onto sand, maybe 6 feet into sand. And she just sort of rolls and just sort of flaps onto the ground. It doesn't look dangerous at all.
So fragile.
and they're just like, they're both tearing up in front of this camera.
Look.
Well, see, it was in that moment that they recognized, as Ethan noted, their own fragility as fleshy entities roaming this rock that we called planet
She was a fleshy
Earth.
gal, all right. Yeah, that was.
Oh, no.
That was fucking funny as shit.
Was there like some sort of erosion occurring that she expedited and then fell down, or was it did she just slip?
Oh man,
She just slipped.
Ethan's breaking out the big words.
No, it wasn't. There wasn't
I'm
like waves crashing. No, it was just she slipped off this cliff and rolled like a big fat dummy all the way down. If she's all right, it's pretty funny. Watch her just sort of legs over, just twirling around.
scared. Did she make the ouchie sounds like the girl stomping the grapes?
There was no, not that. There was probably more like and then just her husband just like, oh my god, because she fell 7 feet from onto a beach.
Damn.
Yeah,
white people have it rough.
Yeah. Oh. We watched Read or Die. R.o.d.
Read or die.
r.o.d.
I'll be watching some Rod tonight.
I was very
Rod Serling
I
from
love-
the Twilight
oh, yeah.
Zone.
I was skeptical about this series because the ultimatum, obviously the easiest choice is die. I really didn't really need to think about it.
You're telling me.
I like dying. Personally.
Yeah, and so, but we watched it. We gave it a chance. It's a series of light novels by one Hideyuki Kurata, who did Now and Then, Here and There, which is much more depressing than this one.
Yes.
Kami Chu, Gun, Cross, Sword. He's that guy.
Really?
Gun, cross, sword.
Gun,
That's
sword.
the thing that exists.
Oh, it is. It sure is. And he's also written a lot of shows. He's part of the creative team behind and writer for such properties as Oremo. You know Oremo, Ethan.
Oh boy.
Made in Abyss, Goblin Slayer,
I was thinking about a Ramo recently.
Excel Saga. Oh yeah. Well,
Ramo.
Well, were you? Were you?
No, I was
jerking?
walking through the grocery store, and I was
You were
thinking
jerking in the
about
grocery store. It's
she
fucking gross, man.
I'm not going to go into it. It's more just me thinking about when she gets her manga adapted into a show,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
and she's like ridiculously entitled, and I cannot believe how fuck it. It's not worth going into. It's not worth. It's just totally waste of time to go into this.
Wait, was
Don't
she?
mind me.
She wasn't drawing in that show. She was writing novels, right? She was light novel.
Oh, it was
writer?
it was light novels. Yeah. But
Okay, must have been.
Light novels.
yes.
You're thinking
don't
of
worry about it.
Arrow Manga Sensei. She writes novels. Or she writes manga. It's the same show otherwise, but.
Should I explain that I
Maybe.
don't watch a lot of anime?
Yeah, well, I mean, Ethan's the same,
That
so
might
I don't
affect
know if
things.
that's really
I've
makes a big
seen a
difference.
lot.
I don't- I don't-
some
A
point in my
lot.
life.
You've
I don't
seen
think
probably.
Ethan even knows what anime is.
I've
You've seen
looked
less
through
than
my-
you've seen less than 100 shows for sure.
I finished over 100.
I don't think
I looked
no.
at my Mal account. I finished over 100.
That includes movies. That doesn't count.
But if I were to include movies, it would be over 200, son.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah,
okay.
I will check the numbers. We also have to do.
How
a
many
Mal
have you
recap
finished in the
episode.
last 4 years, though?
Oh boy.
Yeah. So he was writer on Kanagi, Ping Pong Girls, Samurai Flamenco. Ethan.
Oh, Samurai
Bamboo Blade,
Flamenco.
Nick,
Mario
Nick,
the
one
of
Virgin
those
Witch.
shows.
So he's all over the place, and a lot of the stuff he writes seems to be pretty good.
Sam Flam is the top 10 show of the decade for sure.
Oh, you're a
Oh.
crazy person.
Love me some Sam Flam. Big fan. Eat that up every day.
Monkey Trouble. This is a 3-episode OVA from 2001 by Studio Dean. Dean
OVAs,
is a very old animation studio, Nick, that's now known for its lack of quality, but it back in the day could have been all right, but could have been also very bad.
Okay.
And
kind of like a Lionsgate, where the majority of their stuff is pretty bad. But once in a while, they'll make something, and you're like, okay, it's pretty good.
I think that might be a perfect analogy. Holy shit. We have to, I will look into that
smart.
further because that might be,
brain.
yeah, that might be right there. It might be right on it. This OVA is actually a sequel to the manga.
What?
Which is why they don't explain that much, but you're still kind of able to pick up on it. And then it turns out there's also a 26-episode TV show called r.o.d. the TV, which I didn't even know about because it's not listed as an adaptation. It's like its own thing or something. I guess it's a sequel to the OVA, but it also has characters from Read or Dream, which is another manga he wrote in the same universe, I guess. So that show exists. And also, final thing, hearing the title of this show always makes me remember that poster we had in the library of our high school, which always got my attention because there were like sort of anime characters, but sort of abominations on it because they had noses. Because it was from some like Western manga called Maximum Ride, but the characters had books, so it said Maximum Read.
Maximum Ride is a book series which they then adapted. It's James Patterson, and they adapted it to a manga.
Right. Okay, so they had a graphic novel with a anime influence, except it's horrific looking. Oh. I want to look at some pictures of Maximum. Ooh.
He's doing it.
Ooh, I'm doing it.
Crazy.
In case anybody's wondering what David's been doing while not on this podcast, he told me that he's like, hey, man, there's this show that I've been interested in watching because he's gotten.
Boy.
He's a member of Anime Bites now, and I shit you not, he's like, check this out. So he brings up the Anime Bites page for it. It's Kono Ote Tomare. He's looking at the fucking Kono anime, or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, hell yeah. It came back for that because of how excited I am. We need him to watch tell him to watch the entire thing because we need to know and have him on.
He'll do it. Dude, he you know what he watched? He finished all of Serial Experiments Lane in like 2 days.
Well, that's easy. I could do that.
I know.
I should do that.
It's 12 episodes, but we're not doing it.
We should do an episode on Lane. I've decided.
Listening
We should
to you
actually do
guys
something
talk about
good.
anime is like listening to Chase talk about programming. I'm so lost. I bet they're great. I bet everything you're talking about is great.
Kono
That's
Oto
fun.
Tomare we had a real wild time with recently, just watching the first episode because it almost made us lose our minds, like for real.
I think I definitely lost a little bit of my sanity in that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was like
Might have to check it
lightheaded
out.
for 5 minutes talking
I
about
like
it.
losing my sanity, so this might.
Yeah, we need
If I
David
had
to
to-
watch that entire show and take notes, and then do an episode of us listening to him explain what the fuck happens in the show. But also, we need to watch the last episode only.
On it. Done.
That is a 10 out of 10 episode waiting to fucking happen. That is the best
Done.
idea we've ever had. I'm gonna write it down so I don't fucking forget it.
Anyway, read or die.
Oh, by the way, I want to mention Declan.
Hey,
Got a good sounding microphone.
thanks, man. It's
No props, Pops.
It's an Audio Technica AT2005 USB edition.
2005. I have a AT2035.
That's probably
pretty
pretty
good.
similar. That's what you're using?
I mean, no, the one I'm using right now is a r.o.d. NTG2. NTG2. Shotgun and Mac.
Whoa, that's like a... Ooh, that's a big rod, boy.
Speaking of rods, we watched Rod.
Oh my God. Bringing it all the way back around.
See, it all comes together.
Time is a flat rod. Yeah, so 3-episode OVA. 2001. And,
Yep. You
and
get to
let's
see the Twin Towers.
we'll get to those.
Yes.
So yeah, Ethan, you said you watched the first 30 seconds and was very excited. I didn't know what really you meant, and now I do.
I was pretty convinced.
Yeah, I can understand you seeing that and being like, wow, I got to get more people in on this one because it's a very silly opening. I don't even know if I can describe. Do you want to describe what's happening here? Because I was just laughing hysterically. I didn't want to take notes on it.
Sure. So the episode opens. We've got this panning shot of Washington, D.C. You see the Washington Monument. And then we cut into a shot of this lightning fella standing on top of the White House.
Sparky.
And he seems to have some nefarious purposes.
He's like a samurai. He's got the wooden raised flip-flops,
Yes, and these Secret Service members are shooting at him because apparently he's up to no good. And he charges up his lightning powers and destroys the fucking White House. And then he approaches the President of the United States, asks him if this building that he just blew up was a library. The President says no, but he can take him there, and then pisses himself.
Yeah. Yeah, this opening could have been...
When do we want to address the extent to which the President pisses himself?
It's all out of piss, and it's very sparkly.
Yeah.
Very sparkly.
Yeah.
All of the fancy sparkly lighting effects.
Yeah, that... Yep. I don't know what there is to address about it. Just let the man have some
dignity.
Dignity, for God's sake.
Yeah, they really do the President of the United States quite dirty in the show. He is a character with absolutely no spine.
Yeah. I mean, he's dealing with some extreme circumstances, but yeah, definitely he could have he could at least resist pissing himself.
Consider the following.
Okay.
Perhaps his mind is so powerful that it's able to divert whatever mental faculties are used in the gray matter to keep himself from pissing. The muscle control is then diverted into strategic planning.
He's diverting power away from shields.
Yes, so that he's pissing himself, but his mind is working 1,000 miles a minute to devise the best plan of action.
Pissing himself
Crazy.
for America.
And all those thought processes lead to nothing.
Well, here's the thing. He's playing 18-dimensional chess right now.
I see.
Explain.
He can't explain.
Well,
you can't explain. That's the way
just,
it is.
You won't see it manifest itself in the show. He's just putting the people in places they need to be to succeed, whether or not you see it or not.
But anyways, this opening scene is so silly that it could have been out of something like Dimey Dollar, or I know I mentioned Dimey Dollar recently, but just the dumbest shit possible, which I was not expecting out of the show. And then it immediately cuts to what I was expecting out of the show, which is this jazzy James Bond guitar espionage, Bacano, fucking Nana ass, whatever this
Bacano, that's
opening is.
Fair reference. That is the other anime that I've ever seen.
There you go.
Along with Evangelion.
The shift from that to this was whiplash-inducing.
Well, and the thing is that he says, what are you? And he's like, Gene. And it cuts straight into this opening, and it doesn't answer any questions, which is so much fun. And the opening is super stylized and cool, and I like it. I was sold immediately at that point.
But the tones are
on board.
very diametrically sort of opposed.
Sparky has he's a Tesla backpack or something that shoots lightning.
I thought he had magic powers.
That too. And he's got a lightsaber, sort of, but that doesn't come until the last episode.
Yeah, he whips out the lightsaber later.
But you got some pretty James Bond or very espionage-inspired intro sequence.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we meet our main character, who loves book.
She likes them books.
She likes book. And she gets an important phone call. Her name's Yomiko Reedman. Nice.
Oh, book girl.
And we get a nice little character introduction where they don't explain it. It's like all in 30 seconds you get that she reads a lot and she likes it. She has sort of traditional taste. She's listening to Beethoven. She's not very organized. She's somewhat cheerful, kind of clumsy, and I like her.
Boy, she's my favorite. She's
my favorite out of the two girls.
There's three.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah, there's
this clumsy assistant.
British lady.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Well, isn't there a fourth one, French beetle girl.
She's
that turns
barely in
into
it.
Oh, right,
an
yeah.
eye.
She wasn't explained very
She
much,
exists.
huh? She might.
It
I wonder-
reminded me of Giant Robo in that way. You know, Giant Robo.
But Giant Robo was
Sar-
like an anthology of all these different properties
That's true.
that we have no experience with, which is why it was, it was kind of supposed to be confusing for a new watcher, even though you didn't really need it. You don't really need it here, but this is either just like this character was kind of throwaway, or it was from the manga that we didn't read.
Yeah.
I think what is equally satisfying and frustrating about this first episode is how it really does not explain itself. It just plops you right into the world, and there's suddenly Grasshopper Man
Well-
that wants the book, but
I
she
guess
wants the
I guess
book.
it's the sequel.
It's
I understood why that happened later, though. Like, that thing shows
it
up, and
eventually
you're like,
comes around
what?
to explaining itself.
And then it's like, oh,
But
she's in this organization, and this kind of thing happens regularly.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't bury you under like 10 minutes of exposition, which is refreshing.
I like that.
But
yeah.
suddenly you're like, oh, it's this random girl that likes this book. Oh, she's got paper powers.
Yeah, the first,
Okay.
I would say, 8 minutes of this, besides the Lightning Man, could just be
Sparky?
a neo noir, like straight face, just like mystery or something, crime, thriller, whatever. She nabs this book from this librarian lady. She's got some weird spy stuff going on because she goes into like this secret underground library. But she buys a book and she's walking around doing stuff, and it's normal. And it's very much the tone I was expecting out of this show, and the setting and everything. And then the big cricket shows up. First there's bees, and then a guy on a big cricket. And
he's fairly easily dealt with.
right.
She just like throws some paper at him, and then like puts ribbon around the grasshopper's leg, and then he dies to death.
She takes care of him.
I love
takes
this
care of
sequence.
You love what?
I love this sequence.
Oh, yeah?
I love this sequence. I think it's great because it like immediately because you underestimate her, at least I did, in that
That's true.
you kind of think of her as like she's probably like a little bit of a deadbeat, and she's fixated in books, and you think that there's going to be something that comes about later on. You think that'll pay off later on, but it's basically immediately pays off in that she is not at all what you expect her to be, or at least not what I expected her to be. So I was pretty into it. And then the giant grasshopper crashes into a fucking wall.
Yep.
Yeah. A billboard.
But again, just
No, he
like
crashes into a billboard. The grasshopper into a building.
it's very normal for a while, and then we're just back to this shit is nuts. There's a silly like kaiju monster showing up, and also we learned she controls paper. I guess makes
Yep.
sense.
She's got some paper.
And the book she buys, Die Überliche Liebe, The Immortal Love, doesn't seem to be a real book, which is a bummer. I was hoping they would use real books. I think they mentioned some real ones later, but I was hoping we would be getting like characters fighting using powers they've gleaned from like Goethe essays or something.
We
Not the case.
get a journey to the west later.
That's
on.
true, yeah.
Well, Immortal Beloved, since I got my research machine going.
It is like a
what I call
movie from...
It is, according to the most reliable source in the world, Wikipedia, The Immortal Beloved is the mysterious addressee of a love letter that Ludwig van Beethoven wrote.
Oh, so that was true that they didn't make that up. It is by Beethoven. Okay.
Yeah, because I recognize that, because that's the name of a biopic.
Okay, my translation must have been
about
wrong. It's
Beethoven.
Immortal
Starring-
Lover, not Love or something.
Who's in this movie? Who you at?
German.
Gary Oldman, that's
What?
right.
Oh my
Gary
God.
Oldman plays Beethoven in Immortal Beloved from 1994.
Oh, were they trying to capitalize off of Amadeus?
Probably.
We made a Beethoven one, everybody. Gary Oldman.
I want to see the Richard Wagner one where he's just abhorrently anti-Semitic for like 90 minutes.
We stay true to the real man.
Uncompromising in its vision.
So
Faulkner is a controversial piece at Cannes Film Festival.
bold. Did you hear
I'm
about
going
that?
to write this opera just as long. I can't.
Who's that
I
that
feel
French
bad.
guy who had a movie at Cannes recently that just had It was like a 90-minute movie, and there's a 15-minute, like, just real cunnilingus scene. It's unsimulated.
You talking about
no, not him.
Are you talking about in Blue is the Warmest Color?
That guy. Yeah, no, he made another movie where there's just 15 minutes of hardcore lesbian sex. Or no, is it lesbian this time? No, I think this time it's a straight sex scene, but it's literally 15 minutes long. And I think people are just like, all right, enough of this. So that was one of that got one of those caused walkouts at Cannes headlines.
Hey man, he's from Tunisia. Cunnilingus is a fucking. It's
people that go to the Cannes Film Festival do exactly one of two things. Watching
they give a 90-minute standing ovation,
or they walk out halfway through. They exist to do exactly one of those two things.
Yep.
Also to say hello to Martin Scorsese.
So what's happened?
That's it.
So she beats Cricket Guy, and then the Joker shows up.
Yeah, Gamers Rise Up. He comes.
He's finally here, and he says he goes everyone's always walking around reading their little books, and maybe the book's about a giant grasshopper, but then a real giant grasshopper shows up, and everyone just goes insane.
My father was a reader.
I just wanted to do the Heath Ledger voice. Yeah. Anyone else? Ethan, you want to do a Heath Ledger voice real quick? Or
do it.
Do it.
I'm the Joker.
I hope that's Joaquin Phoenix's descent into madness just ends him going like, whoa! At the end of the movie. Just
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
not a cool, gruff Joker like Heath Ledger's like, oh, we're doing, he's just like, oh my God. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah!
He's just
Everybody was fighting!
He's just like Gallagher at the end of it. I don't know. he's Bobcat Goldthwait at the end of the movie. He's Joker Bobcat Goldthwait.
I want you to remember this face. Oh!
I can hear you through the walls, you madman.
Nice. So Yumiko's code name is Zapepa. Because she's she's Paper Girl. And she finally gets brought to the secret underground library club that's run by Britain, I guess. And she gets this briefing. All these historical figures are stealing books and lighting libraries on fire. There's Hiraga Gennai, who was a Japanese pharmacologist. He's here, and also apparently in a lot of other anime for some reason. There's so many references to him being in other shows.
Who's Gennai? Is he
He's a
big staff man?
He was the one on the cricket, I think.
Oh, that was him, Cricket Boy.
And him and an 18th century French entomologist are stealing books and taking out
Is this,
libraries. Or no, maybe wait, Genmai was, I forget. I don't know. What'd you say?
Are you referring to Beetle Girl, who shows up for like a short scene?
No, Hiraga Genmai is a dude.
Oh, shit.
I don't.
It's not important.
It's true. So yeah, she gets. They want her to take it on, but she loves books so much, and also she just got a gig as a substitute teacher, which will pay the bills. So she takes it because they offer her like another book or something, and and then we get introduced to Drake Anderson. Who is in Japan for some reason, but he gets brought in, and they both fly to America, Washington D.C. I guess they travel there, and they're picking through the rubble of the Congressional Library or whatever they took out, the archives. I don't know. And she fucking loves books. She sees them and she just starts spinning and dancing around all the way to a back room. Where she meets a librarian again, who we learn is also an agent of this organization, and her name is Miss Deep.
Miss Deep.
That's just, it's pornographic. I'm just gonna say
a little bit.
I don't like the implications of deep.
I will be deep in Miss
Oh no, careful. Family podcast, please, Nick.
Deep.
I would like to dock my boat in her deep.
I would like to invite her to dinner and then talk about ideas, what we like and don't like, see if we can connect on a nice emotional and friendly level, then maybe take her back to my house.
Oh.
But if she doesn't want to do it, that's fine. It's all a matter of
I wish
consent.
I still had sound effects on this podcast because I would play the... Didn't we have a... What did we have? Did we have someone saying... I don't think we had any some sound effects of someone calling you a
I can do
pussy.
the sound effect if you want. Give
Okay.
me my prompt.
Okay, just isolate it.
The line.
Just go.
Can you do Sean Penn from Fast Times at Ridgemont High when he says, "Oh, those guys are fags."
That's do that.
Oh, those guys are fags.
That's pretty good.
I did it.
Yeah. Have you heard that line?
It's been a hot second since
Okay.
I've watched Fast Times.
Great
Great movie.
It is kind of that I remember. I just remember that line really. I remember the titties in that line because those are the. I think
That's it?
might be the best parts, but the rest of it might have been good. I kind of forget.
Oh man,
I like
he
that
orders
movie.
pizza in the middle of class. It's great.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, that movie's good.
Spicoli.
Mr. Hand.
Mr. Spicoli.
But Miss Deep is a ghost. A
Sort of.
big booby ghost.
She's got like Ethan, you're a nerd. Who's the X-Men that has like the goes through?
Kitty
Storm-
Pryde.
Yep. That one. She
Right.
got that.
And they talk for a while, and then another silly villain shows up. Silly Hawkman. That's Otto.
Yes,
Otto.
German Birdman.
Otto Lilienthal. Flying man. Flying machine guy.
This is when I was sold. This is when I was completely sold. I knew I was gonna love the OVA after this
Yes.
point. When this fucker showed up, I'm like, this is so up my fucking alley. Holy shit.
We're exactly the opposite. I like everything except the villains in this OVA. My least favorite part. Oh no!
cartoony
I still
and
liked
ridiculous.
it, but
Good shit.
also I like agency leader. His name's Gentleman. They all have code names, and he's this really old guy with shit on his face, and he has this
Yeah.
enormous book reader. He has a gigantic
He's got a big old book.
story tall book that gets auto turned for him so he can read because he's old as shit.
Nice pun.
That was a good pun.
Wait, what
I
did I-
really like that.
Holy shit!
You said a story tall.
That was totally on purpose.
You are so smart.
you.
You are so clever.
Well, it's like
You
I'm
are the
listening to one of those
best.
self-esteem audio tapes. You
You guys keep going. I'm gonna
can you
piss.
just, I'm gonna go to sleep for 8 hours. Can you just keep saying you can do it? You are the best. You have what
I
it
want
takes.
you to close your eyes, and I want you to breathe. And when you exhale, I want you to visualize all the good that you could accomplish. And when you inhale, I want you to realize that none of it will ever happen.
Oh no!
That your life is wasted.
It turns into a demotivational while you're sleeping. That's nefarious.
See, we get you comfortable, and then when you are most vulnerable, then you are exploded.
Yeah, when you're sleeping, you make him self-conscious, so they keep coming back.
Yes.
That's fucking diabolical. Damn, that's genius. So it's time to travel to New York. Is Ethan still gone? Well,
Apparently.
whatever. New York time, because Birdman
New York.
flies from DC to New York, and they have this big,
in quite great speed too.
big air battle. The scene of the air battle gave me big Ace Combat vibes off of this scene.
I was actually reminded a lot of the Roland Emmerich Godzilla movie. where
Oh,
there's
okay.
Just way too many helicopters flying through.
That's another
buildings
good.
of
Yeah,
New
the
York.
helicopters specifically. There's a lot of helicopters.
So
in that
many
one.
helicopters.
Yeah.
Why?
And then the samurai guy comes back and destroys a fuck ton of helicopters, and another grown man pisses himself once again in this scene. Only two, like you'd think this would be a recurring, but two guys piss themselves. It all happens in the first episode. They give up on the pissing. After.
No, I think it's the same guy. He just keeps pissing himself.
The president is in the war room there. That seems kind of weird for him to be commanding like just subs and I don't know.
Fuck by
You'd think he'd be more important than just being like, "Yep, send the helicopters here." I guess he's the chief of staff.
I guess.
I
think. Yeah. I guess I totally blanked out the part where Samurai Man destroys the helicopter.
Yeah, he destroys them with lightning.
Oh, that's right.
It's very demoralizing for all of the guys in the control room.
That's right. And then the president pisses himself.
He pisses himself again. Yeah. He can't control it. So I was watching this scene, and they have this skyline shot of the whole city, and I was thinking, man, it sure would be unfortunate if they ended up, like, on top of the Twin Towers or something. And then one of the helicopters crashes into the World Trade Center. Oops. Whoopsies. And not only do they end up on top of the Twin Towers, they end up falling off of them. Oh, no.
I didn't realize we were on the Twin Towers.
They were on top of the World Trade Center. 5 months.
They sure were.
This is May 2001, I believe. Ooh.
Damn.
So, yeah.
An unfortunate coincidence, indeed.
Yes, a coincidence. This is going to be your project next week. Research, Studio
Actually,
Dean's,
Japan was we invaded Afghanistan, but it turns out we actually should have gone to Japan.
Because Studio Dean knew months ahead.
Shit.
I'm saying they funded it.
Oh, and no, they knew. They
Maybe
knew
it was
with
a
their
joint
dollars.
venture between them and The Simpsons.
Oh yeah, The Simpsons.
predicted
This,
that.
Fucking,
them, The Simpsons, and whoever's responsible for that fucking
I think
Super Mario
Johnny
Bros.
Bravo
movie.
had one too. They had a smoking tower poster, one of their episodes. So it's all of them. All of them are in on it. These cartoon folk.
It's me, Sam Raimi. Spider-Man's gonna hang a car between the two towers.
Well, that's.
This is gonna be great.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I made an honest mistake.
It's okay. They recut it.
Yeah, it was easy. Yomiko makes a big paper airplane that her and Miss Deep fly on to the Statue of Liberty. We're hitting them all here, folks.
Yeah.
I cannot explain how much I love
And
this. I don't have the words to explain
You're
how much
digging
I
it?
love our characters flying around on this paper airplane.
with and she just
This
has
is about my
in it
favorite thing.
like an M16 or something, shooting
Yes.
at a German
Big
guy.
ol' assault rifle.
And they stop him the same way they stop the grasshopper. They tether him to the statue, and he like goes in a circle, and the tether shortens until he crashes and explodes. And then at the end, they're sitting on top of the statue, and Miss Deep explains that her name's actually Nancy because she'd refused to give her name earlier. So we get a nice little arc there on her character, just in only 30 minutes. Very nice resolution to that.
Nancy.
Nancy. Because they think that's what's
Nancy sounds like a difficult customer.
They think Japan apparently in 2001 thought that Nancy was still like an American name that people had.
It is just for a very specific.
for a certain group of people in nursing homes.
There is one.
Excuse me,
So
I asked for
obviously-
medium. This is clearly medium rare. Do you not know how to cook a steak?
Oh, the steak I ate today, they were from my uncle, and they must have been like just sirloin. They must have been $20 a steak, and I got to enjoy them medium well off of my mom's propane grill.
Well,
Oh, white women.
who in the devil?
It was, and that's the thing. It was such fucking good steak that it was still really delicious, even though it was ruined.
That's
People who get steaks medium well are genuinely concerning people.
They just
I
don't
want them
understand.
out of my life.
I've seen a guy order a.
It's not a misunderstanding. They're fucked up people.
No, they don't
Get
know.
away.
They don't know what it means. Like, I once saw my cousin, who's not the brightest, order a full-on, well-done. I don't remember if it was a burger or a steak. He just said well done, and it was like an expensive thing, whatever it was. And it comes to him, it's like bleeding rare. It's like full-on medium rare, and he eats it. He loved it. The chef, I know, was just like, fuck this guy. If he sends it back, then I'll do it. But he has no idea what he's talking about. I'm just going to cook it correctly, and it will totally work.
All that said, I one day would like to try a well-done steak. Simply because I wanted to know.
It's the dryness. It really is the problem. Like, if you can keep it from getting, if it's a really good steak, it might not get too tough. And if you can keep it juicy somehow, and if it's well seasoned, it might not be that bad. But
makes sense.
there was a point in my life where I'd cook burgers, where I would sear both sides, and that was enough to create juice retention. So I could cook it pretty thoroughly, and like, you know, it'd be probably medium well, but the juice would still be in there, and it would bleed out so beautifully. Like, it wouldn't be red or anything, but like it's still captured all the juices.
Yeah,
and
if
it's
you cook
delicious.
it fast, it doesn't. Yeah.
Is this the
juice
same
down too
cousin
much.
you've had odd movie experiences with?
That was the cousin who I was over at his place one time, and just like I don't want to hang out with the adults, so I just head to his room, and
Sure.
he's watching Elysium starring Matt Damon, and he's like, "Man, yeah, this movie's great, man. I've watched it like 6-7 times now."
6-7 times.
And he had this collection of DVDs that was just like the weirdest. It's not like he had bad taste; he had zero taste. So it was a combination of fantastic and just bottom of the barrel garbage
Dregs.
movies, and he loved them all. It was just so weird,
I envy that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's fine. Yeah.
Damn.
He was funny.
Anyway, so this
Anyways,
first episode.
So that was episode 1.
I adored it. I adored this first episode because I'm like, about halfway through, I knew what I was getting myself into, which is like pretty campy, sort of like espionage show.
Yeah,
with
see,
a little bit
what-
of magic thrown in.
Yeah, my problems probably stemmed from the fact that I was expecting like a really, like, again, like a neo-noir espionage, like really classy, sort of Bacano-esque, early 2000s, a lot of talking and Sakuga action, but it turned out to be this very lighthearted, sort of silly Birdman chase, which is good in its own way.
Yes,
Damn.
That kind of thing.
I found so much enjoyment in this first episode.
I went in with no expectations and thought it was pretty good.
Nice.
There we go.
Episode 2. It's time for India. The India Connection.
Oh,
And
shit.
and I also forgot to mention so much gibberish English on a lot of the book spines and signs in the background of this show. Some of them look like just hammering on a keyboard. One of them is just like ama ba 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 ba, just on the spine of a book.
Paying attention to
um,
books.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that.
You gotta look at that English. So
True.
and I also agency guy's clumsy assistant. She trips a lot in this. I don't know, but
Yeah, I like her.
but now Yomiko and
Oh, yeah,
Nancy are
Blondie.
friends, and they talk about love.
Mm.
And Nancy seems like she's had a bad experience. Something rough's going on with her. So they arrive in India in the most conspicuous way possible. A gigantic British submarine just
That fucker tears out of the ocean.
what's the word
It's
for that? It's a full I don't know. There's a word for a submarine coming out of the water fucking hard, and they do that.
It surfaces, but what's the fucking term?
No, there's
We're not going to be satisfied
Does
until
the
we
go
know.
up? I don't know. That's the official naval terminology. Having worked in the Navy for some time.
see, that's I'm not gonna fucking
I
find
know
it.
exactly what you're saying. I just can't think of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, yeah, that bitch fucking pops the fuck out of the water.
And all these Indians are just staring there, it's fucking looking at it, being like, "Wait, it's not an emergency blow." Although that's also a funny term. Heh. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So they go to like this bookstore where they're looking for some guy.
Jahal.
Jahal,
And
yes.
meanwhile, agency guy is starting to suspect Nancy, so he puts Clumsy Girl on the case to give her a check. But they're searching Jahal's shop, and there was a really spooky shot of that statue, or was that Jahal and he was dead? I don't know which one.
I think that was
It was.
Jahal. I got
Okay, he got mummified.
I got like a Ring vibe.
Yeah.
Where it's like they open the closet and you get to see fucked up dead girl.
He's full on desiccated.
Yeah.
He's like a mummy. And then, possibly our silliest villain yet, this warrior guy, Genjo.
Oh, yes.
I thought he was the guy from Journey to the West.
Big stick man.
But he's the guy from the manga Sayuki, which is an adaptation of Journey to the West.
Wait. What?
This is a character.
I thought this was actually the dude from Journey to the West.
But,
why would they reference?
But they talk about he's the. They talk. First of all, the name that he has is from the manga, and they mention the manga. She goes, "I read that when I was 4." So
that it's sort of like how the Hunchback of Notre Dame is adapted not from the actual original work, but instead by Hugo, but instead adapted from like this comic book adaptation in the 60s. Weird.
Yeah. So yeah, they're just straight up explicitly referencing another manga in this adaptation of, or a sequel to a manga of a light novel. It's fucking wild. But he goes ha 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 a lot.
Big stick.
He also does some Goku Cloud stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's Goku's cloud thing is also a reference to Journey to the West because Dragon Ball is based on Journey to the West.
I'm sure.
So it's recursive fucking references here, and Genjo here says he has mastered Buddhism. He's completed the system, everyone. No one could complete the system. He finally did it. And it turns out when you master Buddhism, you can breathe fucking fire.
Where's Siddhartha at? When are we gonna solve this problem by staring at a river for 14 years?
He becomes a
what that
man,
means,
and then he achieves enlightenment.
That sounds nice. So he fights with Nancy while Yomiko runs away. I don't know why she's running away. She seems just as capable. Oh, my other problem is with Yomiko's powers. Like, it's at one point the Birdman's shooting at her, and it turns out she can just block all bullets. So every time she's in danger after that, it kind of feels the stakes don't feel very high for her after that because she just seems like she's invincible.
My thought was that she can block earthly powers like a bullet, but she can't necessarily block a magical power like
fire,
a flame staff.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, a flame staff specifically. I also didn't care because I was so invested.
I suppose I should address my biggest critique, my biggest nitpick, which is so you got Beethoven's book. Spoilers: it's Beethoven's book.
Yes.
So it's apparently it's the MacGuffin. It's the big old MacGuffin of the story that bad guy want to do thing. And so I'm wondering, well, why not keep said book away from Mr. Bad Guy?
She keeps bringing it everywhere. Well, that's because she loves reading so much.
Put it in like an underground safe.
No, she wants to read it.
Guard it with like 100 men with guns and lasers and magic shit.
She loves reading. No. Read or die. It's called Read or Die.
You're not
read
wrong.
Or die. Die.
I mean, that is one of, it's like that's her character.
What if it's
that's
actually
her character flaw
to,
is that she can't stop reading and she endangers herself because of it. So I think,
What if it's actually a reference to Dungeons and Dragons, where you either read or you must throw the die in order to, are you going to get a 20 and things will go in your favor?
I don't know how much reading there is in Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, if you're the dungeon master, I imagine you have to do a little bit of reading in order to associate yourself with
maybe a little
characters.
Bit out of the manual.
If you're a player, you probably could get drunk and stoned and not pay attention to anything, and you'll do probably all right.
I think that's a requirement, actually. I'm reasonably certain to play D&D, you need to be at least somewhat inebriated.
It's crazy to me every time I think about people play D&D probably sober, and they don't, like, the night for them doesn't end with I roll to fuck, it's like they do it seriously and they do it to the end, and they don't even finish in one night. They're just like, all right, we'll pick up next week, fellas, and then they walk out and drive home sober, and it seems fucking just I can't even fathom.
Yeah, I would
and
get-
then they're just like, sir, fucking Devin, I feel like you've been sort of acting inappropriately during these. Like they really want to keep it on they really want to keep it straight laced.
They were from a simpler time.
No, this isn't classic, dude. Although maybe it is.
I've been to game stores semi-recently. They're all, like, in their early 40s, if that. Also, Nick and I are 150 turns into a game of Civilization right now.
Did you start today, or is this...
It's been...
Oh, this is a multi-day event.
Yeah.
Nice.
First of all, I knew Civilization would be good, and I bought this game in 2012 because I called my shot. Like, eventually I'm going to want to play Civ 5. And I finally am in a situation where the time is now, and we are playing Civ 5. And it almost exactly mirrors the real history of the planet, where the first, 3,000 or 4,000 years of civilization were totally useless because we had no idea what the fuck we were doing, and then we started to hone in on exactly what we wanted to do with our strategies, and the game started to kick off for real now. It's great.
Yeah, I follow so many people on Twitter who I didn't follow them for this, but they all just end up playing. They're all really into Crusader Kings, which I think is another strategy game. Civilization, some of them, but I think they seem to have fallen off Civilization. And they just talk about Crusader Kings 2 specifically. So maybe look into that if you ever tire of Civ.
I mean, there's a lot of
Civ
we
6
haven't finished our first game of Civ 5 yet, so we'll see.
Oh yeah, no, that's
working on it.
Yeah, Civ 5 I think is really I think Civ 6 wasn't as loved, but people even now that's a good one apparently.
It helps a lot because Nick has just been reading Sonic fan fiction whenever his turn is over.
So I've never played Civ. Is there a time limit on turns?
No.
I feel
You
like
have to wait for everyone to do
Okay.
their thing, and then you move on to the next turn, pretty much.
Yeah, so everybody.
but you can wait a few hours and then just I should do a turn here and there.
Generally, how we've been playing is we'll probably all get our turn in within 5 minutes. But sometimes you have a little bit more complex war stuff going on, so your turn take a little bit longer. Our turns generally don't take that long, but you can play a version where it's like.
But so you're doing frequent turns, but it's taken multiple days.
Yeah, I'd say we probably have about 8 hours in this game right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's quite a long one.
Yeah, it's like
So
we'll play at night.
You don't have it on another monitor all day.
No. We've decided it's okay, it's Civ time. We all get on and sign in, and then we play a game of Civ.
Oh, but this isn't a single game that's gone on for multiple days.
This is one game. We are still on the first world. We are playing
you can close the game and
yeah, you can
pick up
save
where
it,
you
and then
left
one
off?
person can load it back in, and everybody gets assigned back into their respective kingdoms.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm playing.
Yeah, because I'd heard of Civ games going for well over 8 hours. So okay, yeah.
Yeah. You can do that where you alternate turns. Where you'll get a Steam notification to keep playing, but we're not playing that right now.
Okay.
But I'm playing as Oda Nobunaga, and I've invested.
I've invested. He doesn't have a great. You might want to watch. I have a guy you can watch out for. Here's a tip. one of your dudes maybe. Be careful.
Things are going great right now. I'm fucking up Helsinki, so
yeah. My best friend is helping me unite Japan. He's always hanging out with me in my room with me.
Yeah, I've kind of fucked up this playthrough in that I've put all of my chips onto building an army, and I'm negative 105 gold. And also
Hey, you gotta spend money to make money.
unhappy citizens and no science. No faith.
14's basically zero.
Next to no culture.
No faith.
No faith.
I've invested all of my shit into piety and honor. That's it, baby.
That's how you fucking conquer shit. Hell brother.
That's what I'm saying, G.
Damn.
Fuck them up.
Hell yeah.
I took over Tyre in a day. It was great. Anyway.
Nice.
Speaking of piety, I just watched a video of a real priest baptized.
Yes, we just watched this.
You saw
too.
that?
We just watched it
Okay,
today.
you saw the priest baptize
Good
the
shit.
anime girl in VR.
Shit.
I loved. I can't think of a better video in the year of our Lord 2019. Like
Especially at the end when SpongeBob shows.
Yes, and he drains the water.
That's good.
Oh yes.
Where were we?
Lovely
We
video.
were talking about like some Japanese show or something.
Something. So okay. So now he's flying on this cloud like Goku. And Yomiko and Nancy are running away. My man parts the sea.
Yeah, he does a Moses.
Stealing from other religions now.
Do you
I'm
remember
upset.
Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments starring Charlton Heston?
Probably, yeah.
'Cause
Somebody
it's a lot
should.
like that.
Definitely the sea gets parted, but the most parted thing in that entire movie is my man's chin. Have you seen that thing? Oh my God, it's
Whoa.
cleft like a motherfucker. He's got the most cleft chin in history. He must have to get a Q-tip in that bitch to clean that shit out, because like, it's
like a belly button. It just acquires lint.
it must. Have you seen it?
No.
Chuck Heston, Google.
All right.
Chuck. Is Chuck also short for Charlton? I mean, it's Charles, so I guess, yeah.
Okay, this isn't as cleft as I thought it was. I guess I'm thinking more of Kirk Douglas's chin.
I know about his chin's pretty intense.
They've melded in my mind somehow.
All
Man.
those classic mid-century Hollywood actors.
You can't see his chin. He has a beard.
It's
Not for all
not
of
really
them.
a cleft chin as like
It's a hell of a jawline. It's a really impressive jawline. The chin itself is not. I don't know.
Kirk's got a belly button chin.
Yeah, he has a dimple in his chin.
modern looking
Kirk Douglas not as much as a
Douglas
heartthrob though.
is not exactly looking like $1 million.
I'm gonna be honest. If I break 100 and I'm looking that good, I'll be more than happy.
You think he fucks?
Kirk Douglas.
Where were you when I was your age?
I'm Spartacus.
Weren't you watching Spartacus recently?
I've never actually seen Spartacus.
Hey, he still has the dimple chin.
What was
That's
I watching
great.
recently?
Yeah,
Kirk Douglas is
he's
great.
alive. He's alive.
He's alive
Still
and his chin is still kicking it. So now they're fighting in these ruins that were once under the sea but are now not. And
Is it the Angkor Wat?
sure.
Yay! That's a thing
And,
that exists.
Is that in India?
I don't know.
Well, actually, because I built it in Civ, it's currently in Kyoto, actually.
There you go.
That's right. How could I forget?
Yomiko's getting whacked by this dude. So she leads him into the submarine. Also falls into here. So she leads him in front of the into the torpedo, in front of the torpedo thing, and they torpedo him, but he's okay.
Hey.
So Nancy, to beat him, does some ghost shit and holds him there while Yomiko gives him like death by 1,000 paper cuts. But he's still alive, and Nancy's hurting. So they grab the. Yomiko stays with Nancy to help her out, and then bad guys grab the book and get away. And then now there's something going on with a drum and bass remix of "Ode to Joy" coming out of the ocean.
Yeah, they got like
And
a drum machine backing it.
Yeah.
I forget this.
And we meet our main antagonist, the guy with the ocean platform.
Skull stick.
Yeah, I missed his name. It's something. He's a historical figure, I think, come back to life, or I don't know,
He's done something.
some philosopher. He thinks there's too many people, so he has a rocket ship. And Nancy finally makes her move because right after agency guy discovers that Nancy, what's her face, actually died years ago. That's when she does the double cross and escapes.
The plot to kill everyone weirdly reminds me of Moonraker, where Hugo Drax, bad guy man, sends out like a poisonous gas that will only kill humans and leave the rest of nature okay, which is what Skullstick Man wants he wants everyone to commit suicide by listening to this Beethoven song that makes people commit suicide, but preserves the rest of nature.
Yeah, I feel like probably about 30% of villains are doing basically exactly that.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that one. It's cliffhanger, a betrayal.
That's right.
The dark middle chapter of the Read or Die saga.
Indeed.
The Empire Strikes Back, if you will, of r.o.d. Of r.o.d.
And then the final episode of this OVA, this first scene here, more Ace Combat 5, probably just because I finished Ace Combat 7, but
Did you like Ace Combat 7?
it was good. There were, few too many callbacks. There was a lot. Look, I love those PS2 games, but boy, they make a lot of references, and you fight in a lot of the same locations. And it's like, but it was still very good.
Hey man, those PS2 games came out like a decade ago.
15
so
years.
It's a fair game. Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Damn. It's a lot of years, Bo.
Yeah. And the music was pretty good, and fucking, I don't know.
Can you believe Kingdom Hearts 3 came out this year and I haven't played it yet?
Oh shit, that did come out.
I'll play it.
I'm
it will
Sora.
happen.
I got a big ol' key knife. I'm
If you had told me-
I'm gonna stop you, Heartless.
If you had told me in 2011 that Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming out, I would have pissed my goddamn pants. But here we are 8 years later, and it's like, holy fuck, I can't believe they actually put out a numbered sequel to Kingdom Hearts 2.
Did you see that video I posted of Jeff Grossman talking about a Goofy movie?
I did see that,
Okay.
yes. Plebe taste, by the way. Plebe taste. Obviously, the superior film is extremely goofy movie, but that's fine.
Yeah,
It's
well.
got disco sequence with Shake Your Groove thing.
Yeah,
How can you do better than
right.
that?
I mean, that's not eye to eye, man. That's a licensed song. I don't know. The reason I brought up Ace Combat Vibes, I was like, ooh, Ace Combat Vibes, that's probably nothing. And then one of their vessels is Mother Goose, like Mother Goose 1, which is the transport plane carrying President Harling in Ace Combat 5. Wait, is that a reference to something else? What? Oh no, I know it's also the literal Mother Goose, but guys.
Well, Mother Goose was actually a metaphor for the escalating
All right, whatever.
arms race between.
I was going to say
United
Mother
States
Goose,
and
the unfinished Stanley
Russia.
Kubrick film.
Oh, is it?
Oh, that's right.
Yes, we're currently sitting on Mother Goose in Napoleon, or the two unfinished Stanley Kubrick films. But Napoleon
he
kind of
actually
Napoleon
had
didn't
like
even
a-
start shooting. That's hardly unfinished. You can't call it unfinished if it's not started.
well, the entire movie was done in his head before he even put it to paper. Thank
oh
you.
shit! If they clone
Stanley
him,
Kubrick actually had like a little index card for every day of Mother Goose's life.
that makes sense. Oh no. Sorry, I'm just watching my turtle eat a huge fucking turd.
No.
Oh,
Don't
she
do it.
loves it.
I got to see her
do
turtle, and she's so cute. She's the best.
Yeah. Oh,
Nick and I looked after a dog the other day, and it turns out two bachelors versus one dog. The dog wins.
what were
As
you
it turns out,
fighting?
yeah.
What happened? What?
It was too cute, and we obeyed its every whim.
It was a very needy dog.
Oh, were
that
you just
needed
letting it?
constant
Were you just
attention.
were you just bending over and letting it?
It was basically needed to be let out on a walk once per hour.
Yeah, and we did every single fucking time.
Oh, she's gonna
Rather than
find the
ignoring.
way bigger turd that she just laid. Oh, that's it's like the size of her head. She's gonna eat the whole thing.
Oh!
Have you cooked its eggs yet?
I feel like that's so. They have salmonella in them, so I would have to really I would have to cook those eggs super hard.
Certainly not a poached egg situation.
No, I would not be sunny side up in those boys. Let me tell you, that's a hard boil. I would have to perform.
Yeah. Over hard.
But
for
yeah,
sure.
if she lays more, maybe if I think it would get a lot of retweets, I would do that. I would eat some fucking turtle eggs. Just boil them for like 20 minutes. Just
You would have to present the steaming eggs to the turtle and then eat them.
Sure. I don't know why.
Rubbing it in.
Oh, right. I mean, yeah, because like these ones are mine.
All right, ya boy needs to go to that there room of baths.
Okay.
Later, gators.
All right, let's keep going.
So they're on this platform thing now, the enemy base, and Drake's there. He's gone very quick. He gets thrown off the platform by this like crab robot thing. It's clear he's gonna be okay, but he's out of the picture.
I feel
for a while.
like we never gave Drake his
Oh, she
due.
found it. Oh my God, it's
No.
spraying everywhere, and oh Jesus.
Oh, how horrifying.
She likes it though. I think it's normal
We,
for them to do that. You know, they don't have very strong digestion, so they can just kind of. What is in there that she didn't digest? There's like a big hunk of something. Oh my God.
We didn't give Drake his due.
He's yeah, I like him.
He's almost like okay. So I listened. We watched the dub.
Oh wow.
We watched the dub
okay.
of this. First of all, the dub was actually okay.
Yeah, I had to switch to the sub from the dub because the episodes started out subbed, or it started out dubbed, and it didn't seem bad.
Yeah, and so I think I kind of like him in spite of this. The Drake is a little comic book guy-y in the dub.
He's
like,
very
it's just
like,
his voice is,
here we go again. You know, like same shit, different day. Fucking.
yeah. I want to get back to my wife and kids, actually. Like that kind of shit, you know?
Right. Not in a weenie way like you just said it though.
A little weenie. There's a tiny bit of weenie behind it. But
He's a big muscle blonde guy. He's a big American.
I like him
boy.
regardless. I think he's an everyman thrust into this situation with magical hose.
I
you know,
return.
like we're talking about Drake and how he's a little comic book guy-y.
My boy, store brand Michael Ironside.
I'm Drake Anderson. I'm a big tough guy.
My fortune said we're fucked.
I just looked at my.
He introduces himself by talking about his horoscope, which I think
a
it's
good
I like
line.
it.
Which I
It's
think
great.
It's not a horoscope. It's a cooler Japanese thing.
And the dub was horoscope.
Yeah, we watched.
Yeah, of course they would've
We
called it a
watched the
horoscope.
dubs instead of the subs.
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
In Japan, they have like they draw fortune cards or something out of a shrine, I think.
Oh man.
Oh shit. So we encountered. Okay, so Nick and I have gone to several AAA baseball games recently, and which is great. We go for Thirsty Thursdays.
Oh,
where,
yeah.
24-ounce beers are $4. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
And
Holy
so-
shit.
So I had several of those down
Yes,
the
you did.
gullet.
Several.
Several.
That's like a 40 and a half.
No, 24 ounces.
So it's more than a 40 and a half.
Speaking of
no
which,
24 ounces.
But
is,
several of them.
yes,
4
yeah.
times 3 at least.
Oh yeah, easy. And
I
so
guess over the course of 4 hours, if you do it evenly.
yeah, I think I drank 4.5 the other day. But anyways, so we're at this baseball game.
That's 108 ounces of
This
beer.
this is the last inning of the game.
Okay, that's 9
And
weeks.
we're sitting in seats that don't belong to us, right? We've moved around because we were sitting in the cheap seats.
Sure.
And I look over and I'm like, holy shit. I say this out loud because I couldn't believe it. Holy shit, that dude is wearing a Hanshin Tigers jersey.
Whoa.
And, yeah. And he turns around and yells, "Konnichiwa" to me. And I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck do I do? So I said, "Konnichiwa" back to him. And it was like, I could have said so many cool things. I could have yelled, "Oi, oi, oi," you know, like the fucking, like, you know, their chant and everything. But I froze and all I could yell back was "Konnichiwa." And I felt like a giant loser.
Oh,
But
well.
he was pretty cool. I respect that.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Slow
weird.
guy.
But yeah, the odds of that are pretty fucking low.
That's wild.
Yeah. I say so.
I was gonna ask you. So, oh no, I was gonna say. I don't know why I thought of this, but that time we were at a baseball game,
Yes.
and there was like a child sitting right next to Steven, and a bird pooped on him, and Steven just started screaming, "A bird shit on me! Oh my god, a bird fucking shit on me! Oh my god,
It's
shit!
fair game.
It's shit on me!" And I'm just like, dude, just go to the bathroom. Just fucking. It's not that weird. There's birds everywhere.
Yeah, I think he had several beeroos at that point. But yeah, no,
I
it's
don't
fair
know.
game. You're AAA Sports. It's meant to get rowdy. That's the point of AAA Sports.
No, it's not. It was like a family. It was like cheap day. You know, it was like
Yeah.
$2
Cheap
tickets.
to get drunk.
Kids need to learn.
It wasn't cheap booze day. It was cheap. You know, everyone got these tickets from their work and brought their kids.
Bring your flask to the ballpark day.
I think I did bring my
I
flask. I
wish.
didn't bring it into the park. I brought it. I had it in the car on the way there and drank a bunch of, I think,
Nice.
Kraken before we got there.
Oh,
Didn't last the whole
Kraken.
game, but for the first few innings, I was kind of switched.
Yeah, we get free tickets to AAA baseball. So
That's
it's
awesome.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We went and we spent $12 total and got 72 ounces worth of beer. It was great.
Should have just snuck 40s in. That would have been cheaper.
Well, we're gonna have to slam stuff in the parking lot next time, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, it might be the move.
Do the full
Little
40 slam in the parking
pre-game
lot. In front of the
Might
where the security guys can see, or the the people at the front can see you, and you're in the parking lot just going, just an entire Mickey's. Fuck you.
Can I get a 40 check?
I assume I am just over halfway.
Oh my God, Nick.
It's a lot of
Taking it
beer.
Yeah.
I want to chug it, but it's just so fucking much.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be warm, so either I would say, either maybe my strategy sometimes is to drink a lot all at once and then put it in the fridge until I need it in a while. So it
I'm
stays cold.
gonna go suss up a beer somewhere. I'll be right back.
I thought you just had a beer.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We were just drinking one.
Well, we gotta finish this last episode.
This is
Oh, of course.
This is commitment. This 40.
Oh yeah, you gotta be down. For
I was blind. I was overconfident. I was like, sure, people get this thing called a 40. Why not I? I am a man of flesh and blood. Surely I shall fare just as well. And it takes a lot out of you. You just gotta nurse it for the rest of the night, and it's not gonna be satisfying either.
Yeah.
Not finishing it or finishing it.
If you're a sipper, if you're a light sipper, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna drag on.
Yep.
What's going on in this show? Yomiko gets captured by Crab Girl,
That's right.
and
Well,
then
first off, Crab Girl. Wait, did we get to the part where
I talked
they
about
get-
Drake getting tossed off of the platform.
Okay,
yeah.
so we got that. Okay, so
Drake's
his
gone.
bitch ass gets tossed. She gets
Oh, yeah.
captured. And then we get our super sad scene where she's like tied to piping.
Yeah, we learn there are two Nancys.
Nancys.
Because antagonist has been cloning them.
That reminds me of my favorite sequel to Chinatown, The Two Jakes, a film that nobody saw. No one saw it.
There was a sequel
one.
to Chinatown.
Yeah, I think Jack Nicholson directed it.
What?
The Two Jakes. It is canonically a sequel to Chinatown, and no one I know has ever seen it.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, that's I love this poster though. This not Scarface. Really Jack Nicholson looking fucking trying to look real cool.
The Two Jakes. I want to confirm this.
Sunglasses.
Oh
What's
man,
happening?
we're talking about The Two Jakes, the official sequel to Chinatown.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know about this
What?
either.
You don't know about this? This is a movie. I want to say it's directed. Yeah, it is directed by Jack Nicholson.
Was this
The two
straight to
Jakes.
video?
Well, that's
It is Vilmos Sigmund did the cinematography.
Jesus Christ.
It's 2 hours and 17 minutes long.
It's got Harvey Keitel. It's got Eli Wallach. It's got
1990 makes complete sense. What a goddamn fucking disaster.
It's got Tom
I'd say he
Waits.
sounds a bit like Eli Wallach.
It's got
On the Rotten Tomatoes, the official tomato score on Rotten Tomatoes is 68% for The Two Jakes.
You know, as a follow-up to Chinatown, I would
Roger
expect
Ebert
lower.
gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars.
Damn.
Jesus.
Vincent Canby said it was an enjoyable if clunky movie. So there's that.
Are there
Jack
even
Nicholson
any
will be dead in the
returning
next 10
characters?
years.
Jack Nicholson's never gonna fucking die. Jack Nicholson's gonna live for fucking ever. And you bet your ass that he's gonna outlive you, you fucking pussy.
I'm glad we finally got an impressions guy.
Somebody wanted a Jack impression. Once you go Jack, you never go back. So that's Jack Nicholson for you.
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
I'm looking
Wait
at
a
Jack
minute.
Nicholson's. I'm looking at Jack Nicholson's Wikipedia page here.
Yeah.
In under the partners, as in romantic partners category,
Partners.
he has Angelica Huston listed from 1973 to 1990, and then Rebecca Brassard from 1989 to 1994.
Oh.
Hold on.
Wait a sec. Hold up. I'm looking at this. Oh.
Have you seen that chart someone made of
Oh.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Okay. You have. Never mind.
There's a Leo chart.
We'll mention it. Nick doesn't
There's
know.
a chart of the ages of his girlfriends, and you see it goes like one girl will be like 23, 24, 25, and then new girlfriends.
I
22,
found
23,
it.
24, 25, new girlfriend.
Oh, man.
He dumps every girl when she hits 25. Fucking hero.
He's a madman.
Why not?
Well, of
I don't have a
course. Why
Leo
wouldn't you?
impression.
You're Leonardo
I
fucking
mean, like,
DiCaprio.
Look, you're never gonna have a meaningful relationship. You're too rich and too famous.
I think there was a
So
rumor.
You might as
there was a
well.
rumor going around that he vapes when he fucks.
Nice.
I think was he the one? Was that Brad Pitt or was it him? Where if you fuck him, you have to sign an NDA, and then
That's later. That's later.
And then you assume-
Brad Pitt is a man of the people.
Yeah, Leo supposedly you sign an NDA, you strip down, assume the position in the bedroom, and then he comes in, headphones in, does your doggy style, and then leaves without saying a word.
What a guy. What a guy.
Fucking hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that's Leo DiCaprio. Brad Pitt apparently stood up to Harvey Weinstein,
Yeah. That's
In-
right.
In 2017 or before that.
No, he'd been around. This was during the era of Shakespeare in Love.
Yeah.
When him and Gwyneth Paltrow were a thing.
Yeah.
Which I mean, Brad Pitt is a man of the people. Leonardo DiCaprio is a hack, fraud, con man.
And they're both in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, coming to theaters this summer.
Thank you for the paid sponsorship, Quentin. I can't believe you listen to our podcast.
I'm shutting
We're
your
flattered.
butt down. No,
We're
I'm not.
flattered.
I am not going to answer that question, and I'm shutting your butt down.
Where are we on this final episode?
The emergent. Okay, when a submarine
scene.
comes up
I
really
think we're
fast,
talking about the sad
it
scene.
is called an emergency blow.
Once more.
So, oh man, I'm gonna be watching nothing but videos of emergency blows for a while because they just come up out of there so fast. Compilation. There's gonna be so many compilations of emergency blows.
That's the only part you want to see, really. Like, you can get the plot surrounding the submarine, but all you want to see is that emergency blow.
Yeah. Here's the
Done for the Red
BBC
October.
USA Navy submarine
Good movie.
Oh yeah, just that 45-degree angle right out of the water. Hell yeah.
Can you imagine being in that son of a bitch? That would suck.
I hope you have to strap yourself down for that one.
I'm looking at emergency blows. I'm going to see if drugs have, not drugs, if a porn happens. Sir, they have emergency drugs chart as the first thing when I type in emergency. Is this a statement about my person?
I don't know.
Does it feel slightly targeted?
Okay. We're
Man,
almost.
it's all submarines.
So
They kind of look like dicks, so there's that.
we got to talk about Read or Die. This has already gone on for an hour
Do
and
we
a half.
have to?
We're almost done.
Okay, so she's tied up to the Y pipe and she's sad.
Yes. Two Nancys. One of them likes the guy more. The other one, I think, is done with him, but was involved with him, but is not anymore.
One of them is straight, and the other is gay. Sort of, maybe.
One will
It's
kill
never-
the
it's-
other. Who's it gonna be?
One will die while the other survives.
Harry Potter?
Is that? Oh, that's right. That is a Harry Potter reference. Yeah. John Hurt. What a guy. Was it a John Hurt?
Cutting all Harry Potter references out of
that's-
this podcast.
No.
You have a, can we talk about your Harry Potter vendetta?
Vendetta.
This is something I've wondered about for a long time.
You have a Harry Potter vendetta?
I mean, I don't know if it's a vendetta. I just think it sucks.
You know,
Is this a retroactive suck?
it's an.
Oh yeah,
interesting
no,
subject
I'm
to
ashamed
debate
of
that
myself for ever liking it.
I mean, it's a little Jesus narrative-y, but I like the antics. I like
It's
the high school drama stuff of it.
fine.
That's like my favorite part of it.
It's fine.
It's got a fun world.
I mean, yeah, you know, I haven't read the books in forever, so I don't know. But it's
You haven't read the books?
those books are good for, you know, children.
Hey man,
But-
why
Wow.
do you think I read them?
Yeah, but you know, obviously, yeah, you know, it's a more hating the fan base thing, I guess.
Well, naturally.
And the
Yeah.
You know,
author.
I was watching a YouTube reviewer recently, and I was watching this girl's videos. She was making enlightening content about different pieces of media, and then I'm like, well, maybe I should. I like her content a lot. Maybe I should learn a little bit about her. Communist, straight up communist, and I'm like, fuck.
No, they're
I'm in love with a commie.
Wouldn't be the first time, you know what I'm saying?
Was you talking about Harry Potter a lot?
Nah, she was mostly talking about Disney movies.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, she tied up to this pipe.
Yeah,
tied
that's
up to
right. And then Skull Guy is like, you cannot stop me. And she's like, but you're evil. And he's like, I don't care.
and then original Nancy appears, stabbed and dead. Maybe she phases through the floor. Probably not dead. Yomi escapes with paper that she got from
Yeah.
her hair thing that was given
They
to
try
her.
to drown her,
by
but
Nancy.
she has a hair thing. And it
Yep, yep, yep.
saves the day.
Mm-hmm. So then she has a sword fight with a laser sword fight with the samurai. She has a paper sword.
Yeah, she has
laser
a
swords.
sword fight with Sparky. And it's great.
And they're flying all around the mechanisms of the ship, which this ship or whatever this platform is has all these gears and and stuff. It was weird.
a lot of budget, I felt, went into that sequence.
Yeah, that's a well animated fight. But she can block bullets. Why is this sword giving her trouble? It's
Because
this-
it's a magical sword.
It's right. I guess they should have been magic bullets. The guy was, I don't know.
I don't know. You can't enchant every bullet you come across.
Yeah,
Some
it's
of them are
expensive.
just going to be regular ones. You know, it's a timely ordeal.
But then she dumps something on him that freezes him, and he
It's
crumples.
like I want to say it's like a liquid nitrogen, because that's the only
Probably.
thing I can think
Some
of that would turn
coolant.
someone into. I'm just thinking of Jason X.
Yeah, there's.
You know what I'm talking about?
They probably needed liquid nitrogen for the rocket, right? For the rocket they have.
Sure, because the fuel.
They need to
stuff.
cool stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And so he becomes a Sparky-sicle and breaks into nothingness.
breaks. But then she has to fight new Nancy. But then old Nancy shows back up, fight her. They're fighting while Yomiko goes try to stop the guy. But he launches the rocket. And,
Well, meanwhile, we have Drake Anderson, and he goes to one of the train things and has to fight Beetle Girl that turns into Beetle Man.
Yes.
And there's like an old guy that's like on the controls that really does fuck all.
He's defending the base, and isn't that is that
Oh,
Beethoven?
that's right.
I think that's Beethoven.
No, that's not Beethoven. That's like some old person.
He's playing the
But yeah,
piano to control the lasers or something. And he looks just like Beethoven.
No, it's. I don't think it's a piano that he's using to control the laser. It looks like switches and like keys. And
Someone
stuff.
was playing the piano in that scene.
That was later. That was when they were in the rocket going up into space. There was actual Beethoven or like his copy.
Oh, okay, so the
piano,
Beethoven
go
is in
crazy.
here. I just got those two confused.
Yes.
Anyways, so
Okay.
old guy destroys all the missiles from the U.S. Navy, and the president, of course, pisses himself again.
Oh, does that happen again?
Of course,
Yeah,
it
it
happens.
does.
again.
I didn't catch that one. Wow.
There's like the slightest hint. The slightest hint of what I think is a Texan accent. And I don't know if it's a dig on George Bush or not, because it's not that explicit.
Oh yeah, definitely back then, for sure. There's no way they could have
It's-
resisted.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Um,
we're in space now.
Yeah, he destroys the train.
yeah, I didn't realize
but
they were
he goes through
on the
space.
rocket for a while. It was like, oh,
Yeah, it's
why
like-
did they put themselves in the rocket? Why? I don't know.
I guess.
But-
so there, it looks like the day is saved, but he's got like this magical watch that makes the countdown happen, and they go up.
They're going up, and so all seems lost. Yomiko's on this ship, but antagonist is just beats her in the stomach with a skull cane, and then Nancy shows up, but we don't know which one it is because they were fighting before, and we don't know which one was victorious. But it's obviously just Nancy pretending to be evil Nancy. So she acts like she's gonna shoot Yomiko, but then she kills
She
the guy.
shoots Yumiko between the legs.
Yes.
I would love
And
to
it takes
shoot
Yumiko
between
a
the
second to
legs.
realize that she's not shot. Which is something
And then they
that
also kill Beethoven. They murder
Oh,
Beethoven.
Man. Oh boy. He wasn't doing anything. He was just playing his piano.
He loved playing.
There is a really nice sequence where they cut the strings to the piano.
Yeah,
He's
that looks
freaking
great.
out.
That's well animated.
It's all in.
Oh, isn't that what kills him? Wait.
He doesn't die, actually. He just freaks out and is very upset because his piano has been destroyed. It's really a pretty fucking sweet sequence when, like, they're talking to each other and the strings are falling in slow motion in the background.
Good
I
shit.
loved it.
Good shit.
Yeah, it's a good.
Anyways,
part of this.
so, she's like, make a parachute out of the book. She's like, I like the book. But then she's like, you're going to die if you don't have parachute. And she's like, okay.
It seems like he died. Oh, sorry, I was just watching it there.
And
What happened?
so she's about to like go with Nancy. But then Nancy stays
Parachute
behind
out, yeah.
and faces her hand through. And Book Girl.
Yeah, it's a callback where the first time she touched Nancy, she was intangible. But then at the end of the first episode, when they had sort of become friends a little bit, she hesitantly reaches out to touch her hand because she's not sure if it's going to work. But then it works and she pulls her up. So that's like a trust
Yeah.
thing. And now this time she has her hand as she's falling out of the rocket, but she makes it ghost hand, and so she falls. Nancy stays on the rocket. So now Nancy's fucked. She can't possibly make it out of this one. Even though I thought since she can be a ghost, so I felt like a fall probably wouldn't kill her.
Yeah, she could have phased through the water and then, like, kind of manifested herself underneath rather than dealing
And
with the
now-
surface tension.
Here's the rest of this is when I'm confused. They beat the guy.
Yes.
Yomiko falls back down. Mission accomplished. Nancy is alive.
That is the other
Well, she
Nancy.
has-
That is the Nancy clone.
Oh.
What was it?
Okay. That makes. Now I understand.
Okay.
That's the
Um,
Nancy clone. She's
it's-
all derped up.
Okay, I was so confused because
That's what she sounds
Yomiko
like.
gets a note on the bookmark that she gave Nancy. Says, "Take care of my little sister." First, I was like, "Okay, she has a little sister."
No, that's the
Didn't
clone.
Get it? She gets back, and it's like, okay, Nancy's alive, but she has memory loss, and she's baby brained. Oh no!
She got a little.
See,
she got a little borked up.
they're like she's happier now, and she's just like, oh, I love it. You make origami. She's like retarded, and I don't know if it's supposed to be bittersweet because it seems all bitter. She's a dumb brain now.
But
Yeah, no, that's the other
like
one. That's
gone.
the other one. The other one who
She's
was
out-
evil has been.
She's out to fucking lunch. And I was like, wait. She said, "Take care of my little sister." I was thinking, how did she know she was gonna become retarded? But this is the other one.
Yeah.
But just the agency thinks this is the original Nancy for some reason, because the
So
narration
many
is telling
layers.
you this is just Nancy, but it's not. Okay,
Too many layers.
now I get it, and that's the end of r.o.d.
Guys,
The end of the road.
I fucking loved it.
I thought it was all right.
I thought it was okay. Yeah.
I really got a fucking kick out of this anime, if I'm being honest. I had such a good time because again
We should watch the whole 26 episode show.
Oh yeah, I'll get right
Let us
on
know.
that shit. I fucking I went in with zero expectations whatsoever, and came out on the other side very pleased. It's a kind of a schlocky.
Very much so.
It's a schlocky espionage. You know,
How much espionage is there really, though?
Sort of.
fuck it. I don't know. I had a
It's more
great
like a
great
super
time. I enjoyed the characters.
thing.
I love the dynamic between Nancy and Book Girl.
Yeah.
My favorite sequence of the entire show is when Nancy is tying her hair into a braid. I thought that was so lovely.
That was nice.
I thought
Quite
that was
enjoyable.
just a simple way to show that their relationship is developed in the second episode. And I thought it was beautifully done. It's ridiculous and over the top in all the best ways.
Yes.
I had such a great
It's,
time watching it.
It's an OVA from the early 2000s, so it looks great, obviously.
Yeah, I thought
It's very well drawn.
The animation was quite nice, quite, dare I say, exquisite at times.
I liked the world it makes as well, because this kind of OSS or MI6 equivalent. They use kind of old timey technology, but not like the most tropey kinds.
Yeah, I mean, it's tropey to have an underground British intelligence agency. It's all on the down low, but yeah, the twist that it's like steampunk librarians.
I like it.
Interesting.
I like that part.
Some of the character designs, like disregarding like the villains themselves, the way they look,
Sure.
like especially that Journey to the West guy, he just looks so dumb. Like it's really simple. Like he's just a guy in a robe. I don't know.
I'm totally okay with it. It didn't infect my enjoyment whatsoever.
Sure.
Because it just seemed like the tone of the show itself. Like I didn't think that anything really seemed out of place in that regard. Like it's tropey and it's pulling apart. It's pulling characters from literary history, I guess. But then also sometimes it's like musicians or just great figures from history, and I'm fine with them overly simplifying them. I had a great time watching it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Glad to hear it.
Was pretty good. Must say.
What'd you
that
think,
one's-
Mr. Declan?
I told you. I thought it was good.
Oh, good.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it more than you did. That's
somewhat.
fine.
Oh, that's definitely. Oh yeah. But I'm glad it's in my brain now.
Nick, can you hit
Forever.
me? Can you hit me with John Adams, please?
Let's see.
Okay, let's
To the representative from New York, I have watched the entirety of Read or Die, and it has come to my understanding that we must either read together or die together. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, we might go out on that one, but
That's all
let's
I got.
try. Let's have a few takes here. Can you say?
Sure.
Hello, I am early American patriot John Adams. Now, you've learned to join or die, and you have watched Read or Die. But now I press upon you, the American people, to either suck my patriotic cock or die.
Thank you, John.